President Donald Trump recently announced a plan to help the farmers by doing what? Basically allowing slavery. What kind of? I don't want to go too hyperbolic on that, but so let's get into the details, right? Now, his new plan would allow farmers to keep their undocumented laborers by vouching for them, allowing the farmer to vouch for the undocumented workers. The H-2A visa program, which generally allows U.S. employers to give foreign nationals a temporary agricultural job by filing a petition on their behalf, will also be streamlined according to the Trump regime. In fact, I'm going to show you a video here of Trump hinting at the new rules in a recent speech.
We're going to do something. We're working with Christie, and we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge. And if a farmer's been with one of these people that work so hard, they bend over all day. We don't have too many people can do that, but they work very hard and they know them very well. And some of the farmers are literally, they cry when they see this happen. If a farmer is willing to vouch for these people in some way, Christy, I think we're going to have to just say that's going to be good, right? We're going to be good with it. We got to work with the farmers and people that have hotels and leisure properties too. We're going to work with them, and we're going to work very strong and smart, and we're going to put you in charge.
Shocker that he's carving out an exception for the very business that he is involved in. Very, very, how weird. It's interesting because there's another clip of him. I don't know if you have it or if you plan to play it, but it's the one where the literal backdrop of his comments are the concentration camp, the alligator Alcatraz concentration camp, where he said, we have a lot of cases where ICE will go into a farm. These guys are working there for 10 or 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. It's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility. Owner of what? The people? I mean, this is modern day slavery, at the very least, like your graphic says there, indentured servitude. Right. It is certainly making America something again. I don't think it's great, but I'm not a Republican, so.
Right. And of course, oh no, they argue that this is not amnesty. No. It's just to help the farm. And by the way, just as you mentioned, another carve out is for restaurants and places of leisure.
Yeah, hotels, hospitality, restaurants. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He does happen, or golf courses probably.
Yeah. Well, there have been all kinds of reports about the aggressive nature with which Donald Trump seeks out foreign labor. And he's just giving himself an exception, so it won't be considered hypocrisy if all these other hotels and hospitality organizations also, they have an exception. It's not just me. It's all very Trump.
Extremely.
Yeah.
And again, speaking to the people who are going to be vouched for, obviously it's going to be the most obedient workers, the ones who will never complain. They keep their heads down. They never ask for anything. Oh, you get shortchanged on your paycheck? Better not complain or else I'm going to get deported.
Yeah.
It's a massive transfer of power to the employer. And that's why I do call it indentured servitude, because yes, they are technically getting paid, but that is a lot of power to give your employer. And all so they can stay in the country. And that's the point. I mean, look, this is exploitation, clearly. And our economic system has been relying on this exploitation for a very, very long time. Look, the Department of Agriculture estimated that nearly 40% of farm workers in the U.S. lack legal status. That is a huge, huge amount of people. With numbers like that, it's no surprise that they're essentially codifying a situation that has been existing in the United States for some time and just saying, you know what, it turns out it's okay. We're not going to deport your labor force. And of course, it also insulates the people who hire undocumented labor. And that's the important thing too. I think that's the biggest point of this, is to protect the people who knowingly exploit undocumented labor from any any sort of consequences. And so, yes, you can keep your undocumented labor, you can keep exploiting them, you're not going to get in trouble, and you're not going to lose your workforce. Everything works out great for you, but not so much for your worker.
Yeah, it is the sick twist of all of this that everyone expected to have come, that once again, the Republican Party is not taking the issue seriously. If they really did want to stop the hiring of these migrants of this status, they would go after the businesses. But they're not going to do that, because that would be too cruel to the capitalist system. That would be too cruel to the job creators, these people who are abusing and oppressing this segment of our economy. Overworked, underpaid, threatened with deportation or being turned into the police. And this isn't just a new thing under Trump. This has gone on for decades and decades and decades. Now, like you've said, it's just being codified into law and into policy by Donald Trump and this white supremacy agenda. Yeah,
and getting to your point, we've done this for a very, very long time. Back in the 1940s, we had Operation Braceros. We don't have enough farm workers, so we're just going to go and encourage people to come over from Mexico to work in the farms. And so, that's what we've done. We've had a very, very long history of doing this and exploiting people from Mexico or Central America. You can go back to the 1800s and say that we did the same thing with the Chinese who built all of our railroads.
Right.
And then afterwards, very, very racist laws banning Chinese people. So, history is repeating itself again and again and again.
I mean, I hate Adam Johnson wrote an essay called "The Tyranny of the Not Surprised Guy." You existing on YouTube like me and like so many other creators on this channel where we're streaming, they will comment saying, well, who's surprised by this? No one should be surprised by this. But again, I think we should maintain our shock. It's horrific what is taking place. And again, it's pattern and practice, standard operating procedure for the largest, most effective white supremacy organization on the planet, which is the Republican Party.
Right. And what's funny, though, but it's not funny. You got racists that are melting down over this. I kid you not. Laura Loomer and Charlie Kirk got very angry about it. In fact, Charlie Kirk said, it's telling that the elite class who had been in Trump's ear, if you want to break our coalition, go ahead and push amnesty, which this is not amnesty. Okay, and it massively helps the capitalist class, and it is a capitalist response to a situation that Donald Trump himself had created by cracking down on immigrants who are working. Most of the people that have been abducted, kidnapped by ICE, and stuffed into these concentration camps, whether it be home or abroad, don't have criminal records. They're not criminals. They're not the worst of the worst. No, the worst of the worst we elected. Okay, and not we, but the American people still allegedly elected. We're not so sure about that anymore. But they put him into power. He is in power, and now it is really, really interesting to see that these same racists are just completely melting down over this whole thing.
It is, they're almost there, just like with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, the people who are, it's like they're almost figuring it out. They're just, rather than go to the most simple explanation of what this is Donald Trump covering for himself. This is Donald Trump allowing a carve out for his business while advancing his white supremacy agenda.
Of course.
They want to say, it must be amnesty and the people who have Trump's ear, rather than, no, it's the guy making the decision, Charlie Kirk, relative to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. He's covering for himself. It's not some deep state conspiracy, you dipshits. You almost got it.
They just don't want to cross that threshold. You know what I'm saying? Into actually thinking critically and logically for once, and realizing that, this guy doesn't have our best interests at heart after all. No,
well, it's an indictment of the influencer class within the Republican Party that they can't distance themselves too much from Donald Trump. Otherwise, that those paychecks will be cut off. That the all those clicks, all that clout, all that influence will go away, and that's not good for them. So they're gonna eventually toe the line. They're gonna come back into the fold, and they're gonna start spouting the propaganda for the dear leader.
Yeah, because they always do. It's the same thing we've always seen happen with a lot of these MAGA people. You know, these MAGA influencers, just. You know what? Yeah, okay. So Trump did something that I didn't like, but you know what? Now I like it. I mean, I didn't believe that it was happening before, but now it's happening, and I like it, and so we were for this the entire time. You can't reason with these people.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.